Stangibelisco here. Well, last week I finally got the car in to the shop to have that problem that I described in an earlier video hopefully repaired. The technician has been around the block. He has a lot of experience and he's a really great guy. Triple K Auto Tire and Repair in Central City, South Dakota, midway between Lead and Deadwood. And I took the car down there, got the studded tires swapped off because, after all, winter came to an end May 31st. And so, you don't want to be driving around in the springtime with studded tires on. Spring lasting from about June 1st to June 10th. Summer, well, I'll get into that later, some other time. But I noticed that when he replaced the starter and he replaced the ignition switch, thinking that was kind of a shotgun approach that should solve that problem of the car wanting to to continue to rev after I turn the key and have to shut it off and start it up again. Especially when it got hot. Well, we'll find out when it does get hot. It's 45 degrees right now, and I have to drive any great distance. But I noticed the time was wrong, the clock in the car was set wrong, and the temperature controls have been set to temperatures that I don't like. Just resetting those, just setting the heater or air conditioner to a reasonable temperature and setting the clock time, you have to consult the 700 plus page operator's manual in order to figure out how to do it. You have to program practically everything you do to make that car run properly. And the temptation, of course, is very strong to try and do that program while you're driving, while in motion. Distracted driving is the result, and an increase in the probability of crack-ups, accidents, moving violations, and other mishaps is increased. Let's hear it for modern technology, shall we? Whatever became of the old 5-1 Ford? I remember my mother had one of those once, and she stalled out in the middle of an intersection when I was about 4 years old. She would have been a 34-year-old woman at that time, and she hollered out the window, "Sorry, I'm stalled." Remember those things? A 51 Ford. There were a lot of those made. Well, I have a 2010 Ford. What is it, a 10 Ford? A Ford Taurus. Now, I'm not going to deny that there are a lot of advantages to having technologies in cars of this sort. But I don't think the owner's manual for the 5-1 Ford was 768 pages long. I don't think you had to program that car to make it run. You just cranked the starter. If it started up, good. If it didn't, went to the shop. It was easy to start it up. It was easy to drive it, presumably. I think it was a stick shift for manual transmission. And things were just simpler and I think safer. Some of our complicated technologies actually endanger us nowadays. A lot of them make us safer, make things more convenient, but in many ways they endanger our finances, they endanger our very lives. And I think we need to keep that in mind. If I need to reset any of the controls, reprogram any of the controls in my vehicle, I'm going to pull over to the side of the road, out of the way of traffic, and get it done before I try to drive again. Because I want to stay alive. If the medical issues I don't have kill me first, I don't want to get killed in a car accident or end up going to court having to defend myself in a case that I injured some kid in an accident because I was trying to set the temperature controls in my car. Killed some little kid, like maybe a 4-year-old with a 34-year-old mother who had the presence of mind to program her car before she started it up and got it moving. The innocent don't always get away with things, and the guilty often do. "'Thas always been thus," say they, whoever they are. But I am Stan Gibilisco, and I am signing off for now. Until next time, program that car when it's not in motion and out of the way of traffic. So long.